All right, so it's been a while since I've been on YouTube, but I'm back. I'm here today to tell you my biggest takeaways from 1 year in the trading card business, taking it seriously. These are my 5 biggest takeaways. Hopefully I can help you out with what you've got going on. First thing I want to start with is burnout. Don't allow it. It's tough to say that. The reason why I've been away from YouTube for so long is because of burnout. I ran out of not business ideas. I ran out of ideas for videos and didn't really know what to talk about. I tried talking about the market and it just didn't feel right. It's speculation on where things were going to go, and it's not how I'm running my business, so that's not really what I do. So it's kind of silly to do that. But consistency in whether it's YouTube or eBay or selling cards in general is huge. You really need it. eBay for sure. I've noticed that, if you list 100 cards on a Sunday, it doesn't perform as well as if you list 10 cards a day for 5 days or for 7 days. If you're listing daily, it helps your eBay algorithm out so much more. It pushes it out to more people. It's way better. It's way better to do it that way. Same with the YouTube videos. If you're posting weekly, just do it constantly, and it really helps. I didn't really focus on that much this year or last year now because I just had so much else going on. So what I did do is consistently go to card shows, and it was a great source for bringing cards in, an excellent source for getting cards out. It's just card shows are such a key pillar to what I do with my trading card business. I have several pillars. My biggest pillars are card shows, eBay, grading. I added sealed product this year. I got a little bit of wholesale deal with a friend of mine here, in a local guy around here. That's been a big help, but things have kind of slowed down on the sealed side for me. So now I'm thinking about adding a new pillar, which is a website. That's my next strategy. I want to build my own website and try to sell sealed Pokemon and what little bit of sealed sports I get as well. I try to sell everybody at a discount because I get it at a discount. I buy it at wholesale. I'm not scalping. I'm not buying MSRP from Walmart. A lot of times most of the time I'm right at MSRP, but that's still quite a bit below market. There are times occasionally where I get it below MSRP. It just depends on the deals I get. But that brings me to my next big key, which is cash flow. Cash flow is king in trading card business. You got to keep it flowing. You got to keep it moving. There are times where I didn't have the cash, where I could have taken advantage of getting deals, but I just didn't have the cash to do it. Now, I'm reinvesting almost every single... I shouldn't even say that. I mean, really, I guess it is. Almost every single dollar from my business. It's bringing in a little bit of income for a few odds and ends here throughout the year. I did pretty well. I set a goal before the year. I didn't really put a number on it, but I know if I would have put a number on it, I probably would have hoped for like $50,000 in revenue. I did $86,000 in revenue, which is incredible. That turned into about $23,000 of profit, but every single dollar of that either went to vehicle repairs, which few things have popped up in life, but outside of that, it went right back into the business. That's what you got to do in order to grow. You just keep adding and adding and adding, buying more inventory. Inventory is the biggest thing that I struggle with, I guess. It's just, I always feel like I need more, But if I don't have the cash to do it, it's hard to get more. So that's why I got to go back to the consistency thing. Like when I'm not doing card shows, I need to be listed on eBay. When I'm not listed on eBay, I need to be at card shows and just constantly churning that money. That's really that's probably the biggest takeaway of this year. If you're lacking, this is my next tip, which leads into it. If you're lacking in one area, you need to be building up another area. So tip number 3, if you're lacking in one area, build up the next one. So I went really hard on card shows for about a month and a half. I was doing shows weekly, every week. And then I took a much needed break from card shows. I've been so tired, working 40 hours a week plus 20 to 30 hours a week on my side hustle, my trading card business. So I took a little bit of a break the last few weeks, and I went really hard on eBay. And it paid off. I set a goal to boost up my eBay sales and listing daily, and I've been listing 35 to 50, sometimes 60 cards a day on eBay, and my sales have gone through the roof. I could pull up the numbers and check real quick. Maybe I'll pop that down at the bottom of the screen, but I went really hard on eBay for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and it's really boosted and made up for the fact that I haven't been doing card shows. But now we're going right back around, and we're going to be doing card shows again. I've got 4 in a row that they're not booked yet. I've got next weekend booked, but I'm planning on doing 4 in a row, bang, 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 the next 4 weeks. So that basically means no days off. I enjoyed the holidays. I took a couple of days off in the holidays, and I'm ready. I'm excited by the numbers that I did last year, so I want to keep it growing. I set a goal for $250,000 of revenue next year, this year, 2026. In order to do that, I'm going to have to go hard. So that's what I'm planning on doing. But hopefully I don't go back to that burnout thing. I want to keep doing YouTube consistently. That's where I pulled away from that this year, and I don't want to do that because I think telling everyone my goals will ultimately, it might help you guys, but I think it's going to help me the most. Keeping myself accountable. Next thing, know your numbers. As I said, I went through and I tracked everything I was doing last year. I tracked all of my numbers on my purchases, my sales, any fees I incurred, all of that. And that's how I came up with that number. How I figured out I did $86,000 in revenue. If I wouldn't have done that, I'd have been clueless. I wouldn't have had any idea. I wouldn't be able to set a goal. I wouldn't be able to think and actually accomplish anything without keeping track of it. I kind of took this. Last year was the first year I ever took it really actually seriously. And I told myself, if I'm going to do that, I need to write down everything I'm doing. So I did that. It wasn't too much of a burden. I mean, every time I bought something, I wrote it down on my spreadsheet. Every time I sold something, same thing, card shows, everything. It all went on my spreadsheet just so I could keep track of it. And that, at the beginning of the year, in my first quarter, I only did $1,600 in sales. And I bumped that up to Q2 I had to pull my numbers up real quick. Actually, I'll do that. All right, so I pulled my numbers up. I got it over here off to the side. So I said I did $1,600 in revenue Q1. I actually did $6,000 in revenue. My profit was $1,600 in revenue, roughly speaking. But I grew that quarter over quarter. Q4 it slowed down. It's always slow in Q4. I kind of expected that, but I really, after my projections after Q1, I was expecting to do $24,000 in sales, but I worked hard and I grew it after Q1, knowing that if I put more work into it, I would get better results, and I grew it all the way up to $86,000. So I 4x'd, roughly speaking, what my business was doing. If I do that again, I'll exceed my $250,000 goal for 2026. But I'm not fully expecting that. But I think 250 is a good goal. Now, I made a video saying that I wanted to quit my job. Those profit margins, it's 27%, 20%, whatever profit margin. Really good profit margin. But I got to keep reinvesting. I got to keep pouring every dollar back into it. So it's kind of unrealistic to expect to quit my job this year. Things would have to go absolutely insane in order to do that, and I'm not expecting that. But maybe within the next few years, I can possibly do it. And this is all leading up to point number 5. Patience. You need to be patient. You can't just jump into this and expect everything to happen overnight, because it's not going to. You really have to be patient, knowing that things will come to you if you are consistent and stay patient. I got a little less patient with YouTube, which is why I took it off. Subscribers were going up, views were great, interactions with people for the most part was really good, but I didn't see the end goal with YouTube. Now I'm realizing I don't need to have an end goal with YouTube. I think it just needs to go into the whole thing. Like, if I have time to make videos, I'm going to make videos. I would like to make at least one video a week. So we'll see. Hopefully I can do that. Hopefully I can keep myself accountable and be patient with the way things are going. I lost a lot of patience in Q4 because the numbers really went down. I did the least amount of profit. I did shy of $1,000 in profit in Q4. I felt like I was spending every dollar I had and not bringing enough in, but I knew the long game is what I was after. Basically, every dollar of profit that I had, I did inventory, and my profit was $23,000, and I have $21,000 worth of inventory. So, I mean, in theory, every dollar I did, I reinvested it, and now I have really good inventory, or at least a lot of inventory. So, which is good to carry into the next year, because then I can just keep it growing, and hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have $60,000 worth of inventory. Now, I don't know if that's possible, but we'll try. Yeah, so just to keep you guys in the loop on what I've got going on, I'm pretty excited about what I did last year, but I'm more excited about where this year can go. And hopefully you guys are on board and ready to go on the ride with me. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.